A student is investigating how the material of a spring affects its behavior when stretched. The following apparatus is available to the student. Wires of different thickness, length and material. A set of 10-gram masses and set of 100-gram masses, both with hangers. A wooden rod approximately 1 centimeter in diameter. Other standard laboratory equipment. Plan an experiment which will enable you to test the extension of springs made from different types of wire. Okay, so different springs, different materials and different thickness and different lengths are given. We are given the masses of 10 grams and set of 10-gram masses and set of 100-gram masses. There is a wooden rod which is approximately 1 centimeter in diameter. So we have to plan up the experiment to show the test the extension of spring made from different types of wire. In your plan, you should include instructions for making a spring from the wire that is provided. Instructions for making a spring from the wire that is provided. What you will measure. Instructions for carrying out the experiment. The variables you will keep the same to ensure the comparison is a fair test. Any precaution which should be taken or difficulty which might occur. How will you present your results? You may draw a diagram if it helps to explain your plan. I have already sent you this paper. Before I solve this question, carefully, all of you, I want you to go through this entire question, think about it on your own and suggest in what manner we are going to carry out this entire experiment. Just go through the whole question. I'll give you some time to think and try to make a plan on your own. You can just draw that diagram and then I will begin with the explanation. Just draw both of those diagrams, then we will proceed further. Okay, we are given this wooden rods. We are given wires of different lengths and different thicknesses. So in order to make the spring, we will use this wooden rod over which we are going to wind up this wire. The precaution that is supposed to be taken over here is that the distance between each turn that is taken. I've written the distance between every turn that is there is X. We should ensure that this distance between every turn that is taking place is same. So distance between every consecutive turn is same. Also, we must ensure that the total length, you can see it is starting from this point, from where the winding begins, and it goes up till this point where the winding ends. This distance Y also must be kept same. One more thing that is to be kept same is the number of turns that we are keeping to make this spring. In this way, different wires we will take. We will create springs like this for different diameters, thickness of the wires. Okay. And we are going to make this kind of a spring. Once the spring is made, we are going to take the reading without any mass that is being suspended or hanged. After that, depending upon the thickness of the wire, every 10 grams, we are going to take the readings. This is going to be reading 1 without any mass that is taken. After we put the mass, say 10 grams, 20 grams, 30 grams and so on, we are going to take the readings for this, and then of course we are going to find the extension. So in this way, for one wire we have repeated this experiment. We will repeat the experiments. Of course that will come in improvement of experiments, how we can improve the experiment, take more number of readings and then take average. So this is the experiment that we are going to perform for one particular wire of one particular thickness of one particular metal or one substance that is given to us, one material. We will repeat the same experiment with different materials of the wire that we are provided, different samples of wires. We can name them as A, B, C, D, how many ever samples are given. And then we are going to repeat this reading. And then we are going to plot the graphs of different materials, that is different wires which are there. We are going to plot the graph for the extension and the amount of mass or the weight that is suspended. As I've said here, precautions that must be taken: this distance x must be kept constant. The total number of turns that are there in this winding wires, they also should be remaining same. And the total distance from where the winding starts to the point where the winding ends, this total distance also must be kept same. Other, of course, precautions you can mention about parallax error while taking the readings and so on. This is the explanation of the planning of the experiment that I have given you. If there are any questions or doubts, you can ask me. I'm just going to write down this answer. You can take it down. So this is the graph that is drawn. See the entire experiment. Wind the wire over the wooden rod as shown in figure 1 to make a spring. So this is your wooden rod that is given. Over this we are winding the wire and we are making a spring like this. The next part is we are going to take the reading on the meter scale. First reading, that is reading 1, is taken. That is without hanging any masses. So take reading 1 as shown in figure 2. Place the load of 10 grams and take reading 2. So that's the second reading that is taken. Gently apply the loads at the interval of 10 grams each and record the readings. So this is your reading 2 that you are taking after the extension has occurred because of this mass that is placed over here. We'll record this extension. So repeat the experiment with all samples of wires and also repeat the experiment with each wire and take the average of the readings. Prepare the table as shown below and plot the graph as shown in figure 3. Okay, the table is over here. We'll put the serial numbers. We'll have the masses starting from 0, 10 grams, 20, 30, 40, so on. The first reading, original reading, is going to remain same without any extension. The second reading, that is reading 2, is taken, and then we are going to take the difference which is going to give us the extension. What are the kind of graphs we are expected to get? Different wires are there, wire A, wire B, wire C. Okay, they will produce different amounts of extensions which is shown over here in the graph. What are the precautions that are necessary to carry out these experiments? The length x, that is the distance between each turn of the spring, should be same. The total number of turns also should be same. And the total length of the spring through which we are winding this wire, that is this distance y, this distance also must remain same. This is the experiment that I have explained you. You can just note this down. If you have any questions, you can ask me.